Following is an excerpt taken from the second of 3 sessions that make up the 7-hour-long Module 5 training course on process piping design. This brief excerpt describes the 4 main parts of the B31.3 code. Following is my breakdown of a code or standard and not that of ASME. With a 540-page code, it's a way in which to simplify and present its content. What is referred to as the preamble declares the document's context, policy, acknowledgments, and other general information and instruction. What is referred to as the body of the code contains essential elements of the document divided into categories of interest by chapters. The appendices contains ancillary dialogue that expands on and further explains essential content contained in the body. And lastly, interpretations and code cases that were issued after the previous issue was published. The front matter or preamble of the code contains the following: a table of contents that lists and locates each chapter, part, main paragraph, figures, tables, appendices, and index. It also includes a foreword that gives a brief history of the code and describes some of the key changes that have been made to its content, including those made in the most recent edition. The committee rosters list the names and affiliations of all members, which are grouped by subgroup. The introduction describes the context and a framework within which the code is focused. The summary of changes provides a line item list of all changes made to the code under the edition the list is provided in. The body makes up the bulk of the code, in which all essential requirements and recommendations are stated. It is divided into 10 chapters. The first 6 chapters are considered to be the base code. The following 4 chapters, chapters 7, 8, 9, and 10, are each modifiers of the base code for either material reasons or for specific design considerations. Each chapter, where indicated, is divided further into parts. Each part is divided even further into paragraphs, and each paragraph, where indicated, is broken down into subparagraphs and in many cases multi-tiered subparagraphs, such as paragraph 328, in which you will find subparagraph 328.4 and subparagraph 328.4.2 and subparagraph 328.4.2a, and finally subparagraph 328.4.2a1. The appendices is a repository for information that is useful in an educational or instructional way. It is not written in the context of a code. The body of the code does not describe how or why something is done, but merely states it is to be done. If it is felt that the guidelines are needed for the user to achieve an acceptable result for a requirement, those guidelines would be included in an appendix. While there are recommendations given within the code, these are not the same as a rhetorical guideline. Such a guideline can expound on how to achieve something, or it can provide cautionary statements. This is content that goes against the basic tenet of developing content for a code, a tenet that implies the content is to be direct, to the point, and explicit without embellishment. Interpretations and code cases, as they relate to B31.3, are published in these 2 sections of the code. An interpretation is a response to a question from a reader with regard to a statement within the code. If the inquiry is such that it can be simply answered in a clarifying manner, it remains a simple interpretation and is responded to in that manner. If, however, the ASME respondent recognizes that the statement in the code is indeed not written clearly and needs to be modified, the simple interpretation then becomes a code case. Code cases are the result of an inquiry from a reader or from a member that causes a change to be made to the code. Such code cases are then sent to committee for resolution. A proposed change is then voted on, and once approved will be published as a code case and included in the next issue of the code. This marks the end of this excerpt. For more information on the complete course, please contact us at courses@wmhuittco.com. In the subject line, enter Request Info on the Module 5 Piping Design course. Thanks for watching.